Hello, what's going on, y'all? It is BarbMeetsWorld. We're back again to discuss the Real Housewives of Atlanta's season 16, episode 13, chapter 1 reset. But y'all already know I need you to do a few things before we jump into it. That includes liking the video, because liking the video helps me and my channel in terms of the algorithm, helps me attract new subscribers such as yourselves. So go on ahead and hit that button for me. Also, if you're not a current subscriber, hit the subscription button to become a Barb's Babe. I would love to have you. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Shout out to the replay gang. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, and also share me with your people. Here we are. What's going on, y'all? Yes. So happy to be here to discuss this episode with you all, because they give us a lot to talk about. We are in full swing now with the cast trip. They made it safely to Grenada, and the mess didn't linger too far behind. So we're gonna get into all of that, y'all. Let me put my banner up here so you know where to follow me. I do apologize if this is impromptu, because, honey, as you guys know, life has been crazy. Life has been chaotic. And I'm actually, before we get into it, I think I told you guys I'm actually moving. I'm moving here in the near future. So y'all, if you've ever moved before, you already know that it's just so much that comes with a move. So anyway, bear with me. I'm going to try to stay as consistent as possible. Just a little FYI. Nonetheless, I did enjoy this episode. I think next week's episode is going to be even better, if I do say so myself. I think we're really going to start to see the fallout between Kelli and Brit, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, Kevin, what's going on? Happy Tuesday. And shout out to anybody else who is catching this. Shout out to everybody who is watching the bushes. Shout out to anybody who's watching on X. Make sure you come over here to YouTube and hit the subscription button. Do all of the things. And yeah, so again, I did enjoy this episode, but I'm starting to really be cool on certain people, and we will get into specifically who I am targeting when I say that. Nonetheless, let's get into it, y'all. This episode actually began with Shamea and Shia. They were in the garage, so trying to get some things together to send to Grenada in an effort to equip them with the needed supplies and stuff after they had sustained so much devastation from the hurricane that they were hit by. So getting things together, and there's been a lot of controversy, and I do want to then pose the question to you all. How do we feel about the comment that Shamea made to her daughter when she said, yeah, you have to give in order to receive? I feel like I understand what she was getting at. I feel like I understand the message that she was trying to share with her daughter. And I do understand that, though, at the same time, on the flip side, how people can be like, okay, that's kind of weird to say, you should just give just because that's just what you feel in your heart. It shouldn't be about receiving anything. It shouldn't be about just like doing it to get something back, or you're doing it because that's just like what you should do for appearances or anything like that. I don't feel like that's what she was trying to like mask or anything like that, but there was a lot of people online, from what I saw, that were kind of like that rubbed them a little bit the wrong way. So I just wanted to pose that question to you all. How'd you feel about that? Hey, Auntie Bernice, ready to talk about these harlots and Jezebel, especially Queen Ho, Porsha. They definitely left us a lot to talk about. We're about to get into it. Just wait until we get there, because I got a lot to say as well. Moving is such a life-changing experience. I do know that the moving are considered 3 of the worst life experiences. The other one escapes me at this very moment. I wish I could. Wonder what that could be. Hopefully it comes back to you, because now I'm interested. And yes, I do agree. Definitely, this is my. I moved so much. For y'all that don't know that we're military, like I moved so much that at this point, you would think that I'd be a pro at it, but it just it doesn't ever get easier, because, and this is probably the biggest move that I'm going to be making, that we're going to be making to date. So I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous. And also, I'm constantly working at, relinquishing control on things that I can't control. Shout out to my therapist. It's a constant thing that we're working at here. So just the simple fact that I don't have like control in this way. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, y'all. The message was not explained clearly. Yeah, because I feel like she's just gonna have to re-explain it again in the future, like when her daughter's like just doing things thinking that like, oh yeah, I have to do this just for the sheer fact that I want something in return. But again, I felt like I understood what she was trying to get at, but it could have been explained more clear, as Kevin said. Nonetheless, the next person that rolls up was Kelli. She rolls up in her truck. She's got cases of water out the wazoo out in the back of her vehicle. And so they're all the ladies actually weigh in on how they sent certain items, or I want to say Porsha sounded like she sent just like a check or something. All the ladies were pretty much on board with getting behind this supportive effort. The only person that seemed to kind of be on an island by themselves and didn't really miss the mark, if you will, y'all. So none other than Brit herself. She rolls up and she has this one box, and I feel like she was acting like it was heavy. It was not heavy at all, because once she popped it open, it only had about 3 rolls of toilet tissue in it. Without even going to the store, I can just go in my garage right now, and I feel like get a good enough donation collection going, and I'm not even on the show talking about I'm pretty and paid, and that's just where my issue starts with her, is that you're coming on here trying to portray something that clearly it's not really giving when it's all said and done. And it's like, if you just lead with the truth, and I can't believe I'm even going to say this, because if you guys have ever caught my Real Housewives of Atlanta, or no, my Real Housewives of Salt Lake City videos, and you already know that Monica Gunica Garcia, yeah, she was not my favorite cast member, but something that I always have to give her credit for is the fact that she didn't come through the door acting like she was, the richest one on the cast. She was very much still admitting to being, somebody shops in the Zaras or the H&Ms or what have you. Whereas somebody like Brit, you come on here talking about pretty and paid. You come on here talking about upgrading your car. We didn't see you buy that car. You're acting like you're making all these boss moves and stuff like that. But it's really giving that, just as Kevin said, you're cosplaying as a housewife. Like, come on now. So then again, if I wrote has a selfish mindset, yeah, that's why I feel like she worded it the way that she worded it. But we get each other. Kelli owes people in different area codes can date Brittany, don't feed everyone at your events can go. Yeah, and a lot of people are saying that too, that like, okay, Kelli, like, you need to relax, because you're getting hit up with lawsuits as well, and you're in this debt as well and stuff like that. So, your money, but you better be able to put your money where your mouth is as well. But I feel like Brit more so is giving us that energy of I am acting like I got it like that, when in all actuality, I don't have it like that. And then she even tried to say like, oh yeah, I'm bringing somebody, or I have somebody else dropping off some more stuff in a bit. And Shamea and Kelli were like, well, the people are about to be here within the hour to pick up the stuff, so they might want to expedite that. And that's just what I mean. Like, just say, yeah, this is all I could give. And am I somebody who's going to sit here and scrutinize and tear down the next person for what they want to donate? No, that's not what it's supposed to be about. You give what you can give. And oftentimes you're not even supposed to give from a place of like, you give, if you don't have it like that, if you only have, 2 spoons to freaking your name and a roll of duct tape, then no, I wouldn't expect you to find it in yourself to just give those last 3 items. Like, no, if you have it like that, then definitely give it like that. But if you don't, you give what you can and let it be that. But that's not the energy that she's speaking with. The energy that she's been speaking from is from a place that I would have thought she would have rolled up with, 20 cases of water and 85 million emergency blankets and freaking dry canned goods and freaking all the clothes in the store. Like, that's just what she was giving, and clearly the lie detector determined that's a lie. It is. What else though? And she was still trying to shade the event planner. No, it was the event decorator, as I said in my most recent video, where just last week the event decorator had to speak up in her own defense, which I'm glad she did. And Brit is also allegedly, her husband, whoever, the country club, is actually like suing them. So girl, she has a lot to answer for at the reunion. She still does not make me want to say like I want to see her again next season. I definitely don't. Y'all let me know how you feel. But I can't. It now makes sense why Bang Bang Eady. Shout out to cousin Rodney, went ballistic towards Kenya when she was called a peasant. Just as Drew said later on in this episode, a hit dog gonna holler, right? And that's the thing. And I feel like that is something I read also, is just like, okay, maybe she was so quick to come at Kenya because Kenya wasn't somebody who was going to bite her tongue when it came down to you giving broke. She was going to call you out on it, probably, is why, you went off on her. Anyway, moving along, y'all. Then we have this one-on-one sit down between Porsha and Drew. Honestly, I'm not even gonna spend too much time on this because, once again, y'all, it's still season 16, and for whatever reason, Porsha has just ran up out of another scene, and I'm just not understanding why she's allowed to act like that, and why people are not, there are people calling her out for that. But then I actually popped in on her live that she did directly following the episode the other night, and it's just like, are you guys just being willfully ignorant or what? But how do you not see what she's doing? What she's doing is, as soon as somebody calls her out on what she's really doing, on the real truth, on her trying to mask what's really going on in her life, or deflect, or try to push whatever narrative that she wants to push, when Drew really started getting with her, or really started calling her out for it, she couldn't take it. She needed to get up and leave. And then on the other flip side, it's like, okay, is it because you just in general can't control yourself? Is it because, and I get that gag orders were put in place or whatever. I get it. She couldn't legally talk about certain stuff or whatever, but she could have gave us more than what she's been giving this season, y'all. And even if you are a Porsha fan out there, you have to be able to agree to that every single time the going gets tough, every single time we want to talk about what we're really seeing, because y'all, you already know all I have to do is ask this one question, and y'all already know what it's giving. Last time I checked, Drew and Dennis were actually creating something, a tangible object, a tangible product in there that we actually can listen to. I could listen to it right now if I wanted to. Drew's music, Drew's album. So I just want to ask you guys, what business did Porsha and Ralph have together that they needed to sit down and talk about? That would be equivalent to Drew and Dennis. Nothing. Hey sis. Yes, just like my good sis California Cutie said, make sure you are smashing that like button, y'all. Hey. Yes, she is a runner. She is a track star. And me and my homegirls are upset by that. And some people are coming at Drew talking about, like, this is why, you know, with Drew, you can never get to the bottom of anything. She always wants to overtalk people. She always wants to blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, no. If somebody's about to start spewing lies and untruths about me or anything that I have attached to me, I am going to call it out. I am going to stop you in your tracks because, no pun intended. Because no, you're not about to get that off. You're not about to flip this in your favor. We see what you're doing. This is the only work she's been putting in all season, is to flip things in her favor, but not to actually give us the real. Porsha is cosplaying an emotionally mature woman who knows how to use her words. Like, come on now. And then she tried to throw out things that were completely irrelevant, talking about, oh, the guy Black you're dating or whatever, which I actually know because he owns this like no nicotine hookah like pens or whatever. I actually ordered one a long time ago, whatever, but it's like a super popular brand, Black Smoke, I believe is what it's called. So I knew who he was when she said it, but it's just like, so 1 minute is Drew is getting down with Dennis and, you know, using offering up the cat for beats or however you want to put it. And then now she's got this other guy, Black. So it's just like Porsha's grasping at straws here. And that's why I don't understand the ones that are saying like, oh, Drew just needs to leave. She's not giving. She's the blah, 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 blah. She's just this. She's just that. I'm like, in the past, have I also been somebody who's came at Drew hard? Most definitely. But the proof, the writing's on the wall here, y'all. She's being used as Porsha's storyline. I feel like, you know, Shamea voluntarily attached herself to it by way of Porsha. Freaking Kelli has this invisible issue now with Drew. It's giving Drew low-key is that girl right now. And it's not even because of anything that she's really doing other than giving us what's really going on in her life. It seems to be with her and Ralph and stuff. And she's actually making music. Like I said before, we have a tangible product. And everybody is trying to like use her to leech off of as far as their own storyline. So really, it's giving quintessential housewife once again. Never thought I would say about Drew, just being honest, but that's honestly the pedestal that the ladies are actually putting her on because they don't want to talk about their real stuff, or they're too busy trying to windmill for somebody who's not even really their friend or whatever. Porsha was simply talking psychobabble all along with word salad, merely projecting. Yeah, and that's what Drew called her on as well. Like, what you're even going, like, this isn't even real. This is misdirected because you really want to come at Simon. And once again, as soon as that was clocked, she wants to get up out there. She wants to start moving stuff around, or, you know, calling for the waitress or whatever she's doing. Like, girl, whatever. Couldn't be me. Drew has gave us all of her life, unlike some people. And that's just what I was saying. Like, at the end of the day, you cannot like her if you guys don't want to, but she has been giving us her real life. For Porsha and Dennis to put out there that Drew is sleeping around is insane. Yeah, like, that's what we're doing? For real? Bet. If a lapdog was a person, Kelli to Shamea. Yeah, like, while Shamea's being Porsha's lapdog, Kelli, you've just scooted right on up to be Shamea's lapdog, which is crazy because y'all know, if you've been rocking with me all season, you already know that I felt as though Kelli was giving. I felt as though she had a lot going on. There's a lot I'm interested in with her. She seems to really be bringing it. She's clocked in. She's doing the damn thing. Fast forward to now, and it's like she's inserting herself in the wrong spaces. You're doing a little bit too much, Kelli. You're cruising. You're cruising, and I hope you understand what you signed up for. Porsha better not be projecting or be dismissive at the reunion. She says she has receipts to what I don't know. Yeah, she tried to say that too, like on this live and stuff. And it's just like, I'll believe it when I see it. Kelli, I do want to ask you guys though that, not Kelli, Drew. Do you guys think that this is going to be Drew's last season? Like, some people are saying that it has the making that they're, you know, how they like to position the women in certain ways when they're about to like write them off. Do you guys feel like Drew is actually being written off? I don't know. I didn't quite believe that, but I did hear that from some people who are more knowledgeable about how this whole thing works better than I would be. But I don't know. Y'all let me know. Then we have this one. Oh no, I already said that. I don't know why they bleeped out Future's name in this scene, but in the mid-season trailer, if I'm not mistaken, we heard them say that. And at the end of the day, Porsha, if that is what you're doing, because that was actually a fact that was introduced, or a question that was introduced by Simon when he was going on his social media rant. He's actually the one that brought up you and Future potentially having some dealings or whatever in one of his rants. So once again, you need to take it up with him. But at the end of the day, if that's what you want to do, then that's just what you want to do. Would I do it? No. But is it so far-fetched to believe? No, I totally can believe that you get down with him or have or whatever. So again, you want to call out Drew, you want to insert certain narratives, you want to meet up with her freaking estranged husband, the only thing you guys have in common is Drew. Like, and Shamea actually told on you, Porsha, because she said that she had coordinated this scene, that scene of you guys with Ralph, and one of the efforts was for you to get your lick back. So it's fair game, in my opinion. Anyway. Sorry, y'all. Just got a message. Anyway. Do I have anything else to say about Porsha and Drew? No, I don't believe I do. So moving right along to Kelli. Kelli, I really do like the scenes with her girls. They be keeping their foot on her neck. I thought it was really funny. But as we know, we're about to head off to Grenada, and she's telling the girls what's up. She's unfortunately about to miss her daughter's first day of school. A lot of people also I saw online were saying that Kelli was messed up for, missing that and everything. And on one hand, yes, I do feel like, yes, you should definitely be there for your kids' first day of school, of course. But on the flip side, I also understand that you guys might not believe it, but this is a job. So if the job was for you guys to film over here, then that's unfortunately what she had to go do at that time. And I mean, they were like, at first, we're gonna be how long, what's up, but it seems like they were, going to be in good hands, and there was no tears being shed or anything like that. So good there. Lamont is her publicist, I believe. Yeah, he's going to be taken over with the help of, I think, one of her other friends and stuff like that. He's going to drop them off at school and everything. So she's covered there. Of course, it's like, in moments like this, it would be amazing if I could rely on the other parent, meaning her ex-husband. And I think that's a fair thought. But when she talks to Lamont's like, hey, actually, coincidentally enough, I actually FaceTimed Mark, the ex, and it really was just coming from a place of, okay, we've always been cool. So I thought maybe I could kind of, get through to him, so to speak. And by doing so, he was just like, hey, you and Kelli need to get on better terms for the strength of the girls at the end of the day. And Mark was very much like, nah, I don't care. No, F that, negative Nancy, the whole thing. So conversation went nowhere. Obviously, Kelli's going to be upset, not even because like for her own self as much as it's like, I just wish that, you always want to give your children the best. Unfortunately, we can't control other human beings. And this is just a result of, unfortunately, partnering with the wrong person at one point in time. No, that doesn't mean the children are regret. That doesn't mean that she doesn't, love her kids or wish that they weren't here or whatever. It's just like, if you could change the person you had the kids with, I'm pretty sure she would want to do that if she could help it right now. Unfortunately, that's just not possible. And she's, trying to keep things together the best she can, but that obviously can be hard. I do need her to understand, though, that, there are fathers out here, mothers too, that just don't care, that just don't, sleep just fine at night, knowing they didn't do a goddamn thing for their kids today, yesterday, in the future, next month, next week, whenever. Like, there's people that are totally fine with that. I know people personally that, I mean, not like I hang out with deadbeats or nothing like that. No, nothing like that. No, but no, I've known people, that is just like, do better. Like, why are you not taking care of your responsibilities? How can you be okay? Like, huh? I don't get it. I never will get it. But unfortunately, that is Kelli's reality. I think that's it for this scene. What are y'all saying? Kelli's loud and fun, but I need her to pull back from bodyguarding Shamea. Yeah, girl. Y'all, I don't want Drew to leave. She deserves to come back. This has been Drew's best season, in my opinion. It may have been bleeped if a cease and desist was made towards Bravo by Future's legal team. Oh, yeah, maybe. That's the only thing I could think of, because that wouldn't be fair, because then you don't bleep out the name that was said in Drew's direction, but you bleep out the name that was said in Porsha's direction. That's giving we're playing favorites. If it's not this reason, then it's giving it's playing favorites. So I hope that is the case. All right, she's bothered. Lamont spoke with Mark, being that he threatened to off her in front of a judge. That's why Lamont did that. Not cool. I honestly, I wouldn't think it was cool if Kelli had expressed that she doesn't want him around the kids, which quite honestly, if Kelli felt like that, I would totally understand. You're not going to, threaten to unalive me and think that like, oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, come pick up the kids and take them to Chuck E. Cheese. Like, no, like, I don't think that he should be around her, the kids, anybody. And just also based on the fact that, because it sounds like she has a restraining order. So I'm trying to understand where exactly do they stand at this point in time, where it's like, I'm assuming that there's still the restraining order in place. So he doesn't want to come around, or like, obviously he's acting whatever way he's acting to spite her, using the kids to do so. But I'm just wondering what exactly she wants him to. So if she's saying that she wants him to cooperate so that she can drop the loss or the protective order. I'm thinking out loud here, y'all. But again, my thing would be, it would only be a bad thing, in my opinion, if Kelli had already said like, no, he is to be no part of these children's lives. I don't want him nowhere around here. Like, we cutting him off completely. But it sounds like she wants him to be a better father for them or whatever, and let him be willing. She would allow it. So I don't really see the problem with him reaching out to Lamont based on that fact. Yeah. Kelli's ex-husband can go to hell. That's crazy how he is doing his girls to be like, I don't even understand how you can be comfortable. I don't. I don't know. I think that he just meant that we never had an issue. So maybe it takes a third party to be like, hey, like, what's, to be like a mediator, again, off the strength of him doing what he's supposed to do for the children. Do they need to be talking all the time? No, obviously not. If you're supposed to be a part of Kelli's support system, once he said no, like, there really doesn't need to be any more communications now. That's just a choice that he's willing to make as a grown-ass man, is to be a deadbeat. He's gonna have to live with that. Crazy. And if a person is willing to threaten you in front of a judge, if a person is willing to just completely act the way, wipe out bank accounts and just take it to the level that he's been willing to take it, honestly, if I was Lamont, I probably just would have completely just stayed out of it, because clearly, like, there's no changing your mind. If you're willing to jeopardize your freedom to, threaten this lady to this degree, like, clearly there's no holds barred with you. Clearly you are on a mission to get back at her, to, I don't want to say even get back at her, because I don't know what's been done. You are on a mission to ruin her life by any means necessary. And I don't think that there's anything that you could say to a person once they're in that mindset, quite honestly. But maybe he thought, I like to think that he was doing that from a good place. So it's travel day now, y'all, and it's time for the ladies to meet Phaedra. And I just want to say that, and thank you so much, sis. Oh, thank you. My eyelash is like bothering me so much. These bangs be like messing with my eyelashes, y'all. Sorry. I get it, Barb. Yet that man threatened her life. No dice. He could hurt those kids to get back. Yeah, and that's also what I was trying to get at too. Is clearly he don't care, and unfortunately, we read those. Do we not read those news articles all the time? Do we not read those? And I don't even really want to touch this, because this is, from what we see, I guess, still an ongoing situation, and I don't put anything past him. at the end of the day. So no, I think it's in those children's best interest if he is removed from their lives. It sucks, but you know, I think for the safety of everybody involved, because like my sis said, he is unhinged. Clearly, he needs to be far, 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 far away, because we don't know what he's capable of. Just even thinking about that right now is like, I hope Kelli can still afford her security, because I just would not trust that type of person at all. So, travel day, y'all, like I said, Phaedra really pissed me off here, because, and where's the picture at? So Phaedra, for whatever reason, unprovoked completely, because just 2 minutes prior to that, Andrew was speaking from a place of like, oh, like I've never met Phaedra, but you know, looking forward to, you know, connecting with her, whatever she said, don't quote me, but it was to that effect. Completely open, no shadiness at all. Phaedra decided to immediately open her mouth to say that Angela is the oldest looking young woman she's ever met, and she hopes she has more youthful energy or something else. But she shaded her looks, called her old, yada, yada, yada. I just need to ask you guys that, because I remember this. I'm not sure if you guys do, which is why I got this picture for y'all, just to make sure we're all on the same page, make sure we're clear, make sure we see each other on this one. When I say that, once again, hit dog hollering, because how can you come up out your face, your new face, might I add, saying something to that effect when you would be looking like the oldest person on the cast? You still are like the oldest, one of the oldest people on the cast, clearly. You were giving great auntie, school, you know, secretary vibes just before you turned in your, you know, auntie wig and for, you know, the 40-inch platinum blonde bust down. That's what you were giving. So I just need to ask you guys if you guys remember when Phaedra looked like this right here, or wait a minute, or that right there, or the two pictures on the left right here. She might be presenting herself as the woman on the right, but the North definitely remembers when she looked like the woman on the left. So I'm just not understanding why, out of everybody on this cast, she thought it was okay to come at Angela and her looks, even though, you know, y'all, because, you know, I'm never above being honest here, y'all. You know that when Angela said that she was only 43, I was like, oh, you know, I did think that she was older, not because she looks old, because she has a like mature, grown and sexy energy, if you will. I thought she was a little bit older, but when you look at Angela, she looks to be, minus, you know, the pinched nose and stuff and whatever, Mama looks good. She's probably one of the most natural ones on the cast, if I'm not mistaken. So for you to come out your face and shade this woman unprovoked, you are giving the same fucking mean girl energy that you claimed that the ladies of Married to Medicine were giving. But somehow y'all are still gonna be in these comments saying, oh my God, she's here to save the show. We miss Phaedra so much. Yes, freaking Frack is back. When in all actuality, they're mean girl liars. And Phaedra be on some bullshit, and she don't even give her real life. We don't even know what her siblings look like. We don't know nothing about that lady, for real. So I'm not understanding why you guys go so hard for her, or why you want her on the show so bad when she's just nasty. Yeah. Good point. Because, and I'm not saying like because no, I would never wish what Kelli is dealing with on anybody. It sounds like it's just terrible all the way around. But there's like something else there. Like I need to really, I don't think we fully unpack this. Like what, like how do we fully get to the point that we're at with that? Because that's a lot, clearly. And I feel like we're only getting the tip of the iceberg. Phaedra, shut up. Go get your Mr. Teeth fixed and stop making those weird faces. Like, what are we doing? Mark will or can go Jack Nicholson style in that movie. Oh, that's one of my favorite movies. Don't ask. One of my favorite movies. Here's Johnny. That is Unhinged the Fifth Hour. But that's what I mean. Exactly. Like we don't see those headlines all the time of people, them just taking everybody out. Like, I don't want to see that happen at all. Yes, she does. And that's what I'm trying to get at is I'm just trying to make sure we're all on the same page, because for somebody to really come out their face and feel comfortable saying some shit like that, as if they are the best thing since sliced bread, when we remember you look like this your first couple of seasons around. Like, for real? For real. I don't think Angela looks bad. I don't believe she's telling the truth about her age. Yeah, that's what I mean when I say, like, just because you say somebody, oh, I just thought you were a little bit older or something like that, doesn't mean you're saying that they look bad or ugly, or like I would still never be on some, oh, she's the oldest looking young person. Like that was 100% shade. She didn't mean anything good by that. And that's probably why they I don't think that they got off on the best foot, or like there's more to that, because I think Angela's not such a big fan of Phaedra either presently. And it probably started with this bullshit ass comment that she said. She also shaded Drew's acting career and said that what did she say? She was in I'll stomp it. Whatever movie she tried, or was she on Soul Train or something? Like, girl, what? What are you really trying to say right now? Because last time I checked, you were somebody who couldn't win a case. Shout out to Cynthia. Whereas, although Drew has her things about her, y'all, she definitely does. Drew definitely has been in a lot of things. She has an actual career. I'm pretty sure she has an actual IMDb page. Like, Mama also seems to be somebody who keeps a job as well. So, and quite frankly, before we started seeing Phaedra pop her head out more and more, I want to say The Traitors is really what skyrocketed her, that restored her career, because we hadn't really been checking for her or seeing her too much until, The Traitors, Married to Medicine, whatever. You fell off, Mama. So again, not too much. Emphasis on the geriatric. The funny part is that they still attach Apollo to Phaedra, so he's more relevant to her. Yeah, that's the only reason why people be wanting you to come on to these shows, people that have sense, is to either A, see what's really going on and how you guys co-parent or whatever, you and Apollo, or B, they just wanted to hear you and Candy have this long awaited freaking sit down that's never going to come. Those are the only reasons why certain people have ever said, hey, we want to see her back. It wasn't because we thought that you were going to revive the show that you shaded and called the sinking ship or Titanic, whatever. But now you're back on that show talking about Home Sweet Home or whatever. Like, the jokes really write themselves, y'all, is what I was saying, or what I'm trying to say. Nonetheless, because we're already at 45 minutes. I just been pumping these gums, y'all. I'm sorry. Shamea, you tried to say that you and Phaedra are in a good place. Could never be me, but whatever. The country looked absolutely beautiful. They had a very warm greeting. Kelli was already yelling, and unfortunately, they actually lost. Shamea's bags got delayed or whatever, so we would have had to make a pit stop before we got to the resort. But that's just me, just saying. And Phaedra, like, this is what I'm saying. She's only going to give Child's faces, or ask messy questions like who all is beefing, where's the beef, how's the beef, etc., etc. And I want to say, yeah, this is when she shaded Drew's career. And Drew, by this point in time, had also caught wind of the shade that Shamea was throwing her, claiming that about the 5 languages, when in all actuality, Drew was talking about 5 love languages, or the 5 love languages. Now, I'm starting to really see why Shamea and Porsha were quote unquote best friends, because the elevator sometimes is not going all the way to the top, is what it seems. And I just, too much. Of course, when it came down to divvying out the rooms, they got to play a little game. They got to make it, all, freaking extra. Nonetheless, they were trying to like pair up the ladies that aren't the closest, that can use some bonding time, so to speak. So it was Angela and Porsha. It was Kelli and Shamea as the hosts. It was Phaedra and Brit. And it was also Cynthia and Drew. And they tried to, or unfortunately, Drew got almost stuck with like the worst room again. Or, well, she did get stuck with the worst room again. But that was only after her and Cynthia arm wrestled and she wound up beating her. But then when it all came down to it, she wound up giving Cynthia the better room out of the two, because one had like 2 twin beds and the other one had a queen bed. So she gave her the room. I can understand that. I might have did the same thing too. I don't know, but they always kill me with this whole room drama and stuff like that. I don't like to play with where I lay my head and all that. So just give me my key and I'm gonna go to my room and I'm gonna do what I need to do. Like, I don't need all the extra, but whatever. They had some time to get ready. They all head off. They get ready, and before they leave, though, Shamea actually tells Kelli how she's uncomfortable with how Drew tagged her on Instagram, calling her or talking about an imaginary beef, or people creating imaginary beef in interviews or what have you. And she tagged Shamea. So this whole trip is supposed to be about resetting, is about getting back to a better space, is about clearing the air and stuff like that. So it's clear that there's already tensions brewing and stuff brewing right before we could even have one whole sit down group activity. Like, we already know what it's going to give. Nonetheless, they all pop back out. Shamea had enough in her carry-on to kind of make something work, and I was like, okay, good on you. Quite honestly, her suitcase not making it might actually be best for us in our viewing eyes, because we know that she can't dress worth a damn anyway. So quite frankly, whatever was in that suitcase, it might have been her best in her best interest for it to have gotten lost. Just saying. Y'all know I'm not lying. She can't dress. Anyway. So, and I also was really bothered by how Shamea was saying that Drew doesn't know how to feel. She's pretending that they don't have beef, and she just has this huge issue. I just have this huge issue with her saying that, because it's like, Shamea, you're actually the main person who's pretending how they don't know how they want to feel, and creating shit that's not really there. So for you to then project that onto Drew, again, I see why you and Porsha were at one point two birds of a feather, is what it seems. And how I understand it is the lowest rating that the show ever got is when Phaedra came back last week, clocked that tea. And that's for some odd reason that the haters will still overlook that fact when we can't lie about numbers. The gods don't want Shamea addressed the way yes, I literally just said that. Phaedra once called RHOA the stinking Titanic, yet they now back on the show. Insert Viola Davis meme. Exactly. You want to talk cash money shit about stuff, and yet for some odd reason, like who is she best friends with in corporate? Because I just don't understand how someone could come back, completely overlook the heinous, vile actions that they did when they were last on a show. They can come back, glaze over that, and just keep it pushing, and also then still say like weird. She's also it's giving I never learned my lesson. It's giving I was never remorseful. I was never sorry. I could care less, and it is what it is. Just the way that she's even came back and just said certain things and made certain jokes has already rubbed me the wrong way. I've noticed Bravo only displays the Keystone Cop antics with RHOA and RHP. Could it be a subliminally racial? I never put anything past them on the racial colorism discriminatory tip. So you might be onto something. What else? Cynthia tells Drew about Amsterdam, which I've already talked to you. I've already played those clips when they first broke and stuff like that. Good on Cynthia. Y'all know she loves love, and she's going about this differently. So I do hope it pans out better for her than her previous relationships we've seen on the show. Don't really have much to say there, but I do love that. I do love that Drew sees exactly what Porsha is playing at, and seeing that there's no reason why she would have sat down with Ralph if it wasn't to talk about something in regards to me. I love that she knows that. And I want Cynthia to also, like, Cynthia's there to collect some checks. Clearly, she also popped up on that Love Hotel show this weekend too. Not that I watch it, but it comes on right after, so it was still on when I was like doing stuff or whatever after the episode, and I saw Cynthia make a cameo on there too for Luann. So Shamea, Cynthia's just collecting the checks, and I feel like that's a lot of the reason why she just be answering and saying certain stuff, because it's giving like I'm here for a good time, not a long time. And yeah, but okay, Cynthia, I'll get off your neck. Anyway, again, shout outs to 35 people that are watching collectively, y'all. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment below, turn on the notification bell, and share us with your folks. So they head out, and Phaedra, she also bothers me too when she talks about her mortician endeavors, because it's like, I don't want to say she talks about it for like shock value almost, but it almost, yeah, it's like, is this truly a passion of yours, or do you just want to freaking just talk about it because it's like weird or different or out of the norm? Or however you want to put it. I feel like she never talks about like lawyer stuff anymore. So maybe it really was true that you weren't winning no cases. So it's morticianism, mortuary stuff. Like, is that truly your passion? I don't know. It's just so many question marks around Phaedra. She's just such a questionable person that I can't even really stay stuck on her too much, because it's quite odd how we have seen somebody on our screens for so many years, and yeah, we know nothing about you, like, at all, except for that you be like lying and on bullshit and masking the truth. Weird. Anyway, so they talk happy endings. I was like, also a lot of question marks in Kelli's life too, because I'm just like, if you had to, like, was that on purpose, or like, do you not have, I don't know. I'm still assessing Kelli and trying to paint a complete profile of her, other than she's loud. But that definitely threw me. Nonetheless, so since Kelli and Shamea, I guess you would say too, are like the hosts and stuff like that, Kelli tries to, you know, we're all seated at a table, like over dinner. We already know it's about to go down. Obviously, this is Housewives. So Kelli opens the conversation up to talk about Drew and Shamea's issue that really isn't an issue, but y'all know what I mean when I say that. And I love that Angela had Drew's back out of everybody in this scene, because it was clear that Shamea was very much bothered still about the lapdog comment, where in my mind, I'm not understanding how she could be bothered by that when you are the person that willingly like posts things like this, and willingly is barking and is willingly ignoring the fact that you know damn well that this woman who you claim to be as your best friend has failed to show up for you in that regard time and time again. But we'll just go on ahead and glaze over that. And I loved again how Drew was like, a hit dog's gonna holler. So if that's what you were giving because you want to run things back incorrectly, is exactly what Shamea did, because like I've said time and time again, and this is the mountain that I am still going to stand up on top of. I do not feel like Drew meant anything malicious when she said that the music's on play for PJ's school, college or whatever. I think that was just a general like joke that she was making, saying that like everybody's about to get something off this. It's about to be good for everybody. Like, this is good. I think that's the only thing that she meant. And then Porsha tried to say like, oh, well, nobody came to me about it. And it's just like, then when Kelli asks you a question 2 seconds later, you're talking about, oh, we squashed it, we're past it, everything is good, we don't need to talk about that. Well, quite frankly, we haven't gotten to talk about anything when it comes to you all season, Porsha. So what else is new? I didn't understand what Kelli meant when she said that Drew has a problem with everybody at the table except for Cynthia. Phaedra just got there, so since when does she have an issue with Angela? So what are you saying? Kelli, since when do you and Drew have an issue? Maybe we should start there. Maybe you should speak up and explain that one first. Quite honestly, how did her and Brit have an issue? Shamea and her shouldn't have an issue. She should only have an issue at this point in time with Porsha. So Kelli, what the fuck were you talking about when you said that? And I feel like that was overlooked, and they didn't put enough or place enough time on that, because that just made no sense to me. can someone explain this in the comments? Because when did Drew have all of these issues? That just was so like just out of nowhere for me. They were able to squash it to the best of their abilities during the scene, but I feel like a lot of weird comments were made during the entire thing. But they like promise each other to pretty much you know, keep it cute. Everybody's going along. We all good. It's all cool. Whatever. For whatever reason, Brit decided this was also the time that she was going to bring up something completely out of left field that had nothing to do with anything. Mind you, they had this crystal that they were passing around. You know, if you got the crystal, you can talk. If you don't have the crystal, you can't talk. And so Brit grabs the crystal to talk and tell her, and then turns to Phaedra to say that during her event, her husband actually invited Apollo and his wife, and she didn't have anything to do with that, but she just wants to, you know, let her know that, and there was nothing malicious about it. There was no malicious intent. There was no snake itch going on. She doesn't know him, but she just needed to tell Phaedra that. Phaedra clocked that she was trying to have a moment. She clocked that she was trying to like stir up a conversation or whatever. Completely just had nothing to do with anything. And so of course she shut it down. I was like, girl, I think even my husband, like, I don't care. What we are good. We are fine. Like, huh? Great, you're not needed. And quite honestly, going back to the point I just made about how can Drew possibly have an issue with all these people in the group? If anybody's had an issue with everybody in the group, it's actually Brit. Yeah. It's actually Brit. So what the fuck are we talking about, Kelli? That was just, and that's what I mean when I said earlier, like certain people are kind of like, and I really don't want to end this season disliking Kelli, but like, get it together, girl. You started off strong, but now, you know, now you're doing too much and not enough at the same time. Just looking over my notes, y'all. I think that was pretty much it. This episode, like I said earlier, was cute or whatever. I am looking forward to next week's episode because I think, again, we're peeling back the layers of how several of these friendships have dissolved or what have you. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate you guys always. I guess we're gonna see the demise of Kelli and Brit friendship. Yep, I think that's what we're gonna start to get into starting next week. I did see that where is it? I want to say there was 16 or 17 episodes total according to Wikipedia. Yeah, according to Wikipedia, I want to say there's like 13, 14 episodes of this season. Again, y'all, would definitely appreciate it if you like the video. Leave me a comment in the comment section below. Definitely would love to talk to you guys about this episode, as well as, you know, my commentary, all those things. Don't forget to check the description box. Shop my jewelry. Follow me on my socials. Do all of the things, y'all. Kelli favors Elf. Oh my god, I'm dead. Oh my god, not Elf on the Shelf. She does a lot. Like, she's small, so I feel like she wears like a lot of the clothes she wears. It's like they swallow her up, and it's like a lot going on sometimes with her. Brit don't have the capacity to read their own. Not worth a damn. Oh my goodness, y'all. But again, like I said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Check the description box. do all the things. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. I appreciate y'all. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.